With technology constantly improving and now leading into the introduction of AI, I can't help but feel that everything we do online is being put into analytics and algorithms. And now for some reason AI is being pushed everywhere as well. And this is to either A, make us use their product more often, or B, to make us stay on their product longer or to spend more money. And this is almost on everything from social medias to video game. It's all a numbers game. And my thing is, we maybe noticed a little bit too late. In the mid 2010s, we thought algorithms were some fun little way to keep us invested, and they were, until it slowly spiraled out of control. Especially how AI is trained by using algorithms. First, let's start off with the basics because all of these terms go hand in hand. Analytics is the systematic computational analysis of data or statistics. An algorithm is a process or set of rules to be followed in calculations by a computer. And lastly, AI, which stands for artificial intelligence, is intelligence exhibited by a computer system. Analytics and algorithms affect machine learning, which is an application of AI. Many websites started using algorithms as far back as 2004 with autocomplete as a search feature. The information used to autocomplete are the user's tendencies, trends, and a location to predict what the search could be. This is also similar to predictive search that Google introduced in 2012. This aims to provide info before the user could seek it, and this is on top of the search engines already using algorithms to filter out their best results and order them by relevance to the user. So now I want to shift over to social media. Facebook, which was one of the first social media sites to come out, releasing a year later than MySpace. However, as Facebook continued to grow and eventually surpass MySpace in the number of users, to accommodate for the size, they shifted from a chronological feed to an algorithmic feed around 2007. The feed was now based on prioritizing content on relevance and engagement, and this was the beginning of not having control over what you wanted to see, because now Facebook is showing you things that they think you might like. And in 2012, this is where the real implementation of the algorithm took off. Facebook essentially decided to double down on using algorithms to sort out your feed for you. And this essentially laid down the groundwork for other social media apps like Instagram and TikTok, and even different advertisers. Because in today's world, you get targeted ads based off of your history and your tendencies. Although I'm not going to dive deep into that because I already kind of made a video about advertisers, but I really didn't use Facebook like that. But I know Instagram still has problems to this day about getting content that they did not ask to see, such as suggested posts or accounts. Seeing posts from accounts that you are not following or from a picture that was posted 4 days ago at the top of your feed has been an issue. I was on the Hypeland Instagram account because I was monitoring a specific drop that they had, and for the next 2 months I was always seeing their account, or I was recommended to follow them. Like, I get it, oh my gosh. And that's the problem with the algorithm today. I think it is way too strong. And TikTok honestly is the biggest offender. If I liked one Mario Kart TikTok, there should be no reason that the next 7 of my 10 videos should be Mario Kart related. I remember I liked one baseball TikTok, and it took me 2 months to stop seeing baseball content, no matter how many times I said I wasn't interested. Someone made a comment that says something like, God forbid you click on the sound, and they were totally right, because now there are 3 videos in a row that have included that sound, and one of them was from 5 months ago. It's just way too sensitive, and it's really all in your face all at one time. It's not spread out, it's not gradual by any means. And they push the content so hard. And this is the same way people feel about Spotify's algorithm, and I'm really right there with them. I don't even listen to music like that, but I would get the same song twice in a 2-hour session. And at one point I had to check to see if I had 2 of the same songs on my playlist, because I just listened to this song 20 minutes ago and now I'm hearing it again. I only have about 6 Sierra songs on my playlist, and I kid you not, I had 5 play back to back to back to back to back. And at that point I knew something was up. And this is what I mean by the algorithm is too sensitive. It holds way too much weight. For example, In Call of Duty, I really only play Cold War, which like came out 4 years ago, and I know them newer cards, they still have this exact same issue. But when I tell you skill-based matchmaking is really just too dominant, there should be no reason after having 1 or 2 good games that I'm thrown into a game full of sweats the very next game. To the point where I'm questioning myself whether or not I deserve to play this game. Then, the very next game, I'm put into an easier lobby because I just went freaking 8-20, and now I'm dropping 50 because I'm playing against little brothers. 1 or 2 games should not send me to one extreme or the other. If anything, it should just be a gradual increase, because why do 2 games heavily influence my next 2 games? My next lobbies after that. 2 games doesn't show that much of a story in the grand scheme of things. And this is the same thing with the quote-unquote new rank system in Overwatch. I just hate how the rank system penalizes you in certain scenarios. First of all, I hate how the game kind of predicts who is going to win or lose. You shouldn't know or have a team that's favored to win, because that's kind of the whole point. The point is to make things as close to 50-50 as possible. And second, how do you know that? Which factors are you weighing in that decides the outcome like that? I think they have made some changes up until now, but I remember one game where we just whooped this one team and I got so much SR because we were not expected to win. Or vice versa, where you lose more SR because you were expected to win and you lost. The thing is that there are so many factors that come into play that don't involve numbers at all. I really think humans in general are really not as predictable as we think. Like, can a machine know that I'm going to perform worse on a map that I don't like? Can a machine tell if I'm going to have a good game, good communication with my team, and we ended up winning? Can a machine tell that I'm going to play bad on my next game because I'm playing tilted? Can a machine tell that I'm going to play a character on a map I normally don't play this character on and I ended up doing well? There are just so many outside factors that come into play, and to solely rely on numbers to predict who is going to win, this isn't like a GPS where you can predict the traffic flow during the time of day, because humans are way more complex than that. I remember my cousin, she told me to stop getting offended when Siri tried to autocorrect me on a word that I wasn't even thinking about. But what I was really getting at is Siri don't know me like that. She thinks she does, but you freaking never will. I know that sounds really crazy to hear, but this is just how I operate. It doesn't have to make sense. Like, I just hate when I get Siri recommended something during a specific time of day. Like, bro, you don't freaking know my tendencies, and I didn't ask for this either. So you know what? Out of spite, I'm just not gonna use my phone. I'm gonna put it down. So now what? I just hate how analytics try to squeeze its way in every part of my life. I'm not saying it's bad, because we do need it, but not in all areas. In sports, I hate the analytics talk so much, especially the advanced stats. Like, please get out of my face with that VORP stuff. There are so many things that need the eye test, or there are so many things that don't appear on the stat sheet. And even in this sense, there are some things that are good on paper, but in theory, it doesn't work out like that. Like, I hate how analytics say the mid-range is not a good shot. I understand long twos, okay, yeah. But I've seen so many players opt to taking a contested layup over a 2-dribble pull-up. I get 3 is worth more than 2, but 2 is also worth more than 0. Because I'm a big believer in numbers don't tell the entire story or know the context. And now we just have AU out the wazoo. AU, alright. AI out the wazoo. And it's pretty much forced on us. Like, why does Twitter have an AI? What's it called? Like Groth or something? Girth? Gorth? Whatever it's called. Gronk? It's called Gronk. Like, what's Gronk? It's just not needed everywhere. And I'm thinking about moving on from Google Chrome because of the AI search. If I wanted AI, I would just use ChatGPT. But I don't. So why is it here? And then on top of that, it's not even accurate. I remember when my professor said AIs are stupid. Because now I get what he's saying. Because what do you mean the doctors recommend smoking 2 to 3 cigarettes a day if you're pregnant? How could you be more far from the truth? I see Google has access to Reddit's information. I mean, you can train the AI as well as you want, but you can't give it discernment, especially not for Reddit posts. And this is what I'm saying. A computer doesn't know context. It cannot tell if someone is joking or trolling, and it could really be biased in any direction. So for Google to roll this out and it's just terrible, it's just not a good look. And I say this to say that there is a time and a place for analytics and AI, but they don't need to be everywhere, and it needs to be taken with a grain of salt. Because trying to min-max every aspect online is OD, and it should be used sparingly because sometimes numbers do lie.